Welcome to the Sacred Anatomy Academy and to this special offering. Do you need energetic hygiene? Our free introduction to the six-part series, Energetic Hygiene, Self-Care for the Sensitive Soul. Taking time to care for your own subtle energy body is a critical step forward into engaging full responsibility for your life and health. When she was a teenager in the mid 1960s, there were no schools or teachers to turn to learn about subtle energy and how to work with it. Desda Zuckerman was forced by circumstances to develop techniques and practices to be healthy and understand what she was seeing, and to simply learn to be in the world as a sensitive person. Energetic hygiene is a collection of those very practices. So be sure you're prepared for our class today. Make sure you've got a glass of water and you're able to work comfortably, whether it's to turn on a fan or put on a sweater. You'll need a pen or a pencil and some paper to record your reflections during these interactive exercises. And again, please turn off your cell phone to lessen distractions. And now I'd like to share a little bit about your teacher, Desda Zuckerman. Now, Desda Zuckerman was born a clairvoyant with a sensate awareness that made subtle energy as real for her as concrete. Her study of the swirling colors she sees and feels around everything led her to, after over 30 years of study and analysis, to found the discipline Sacred Anatomy Energy Medicine. This intentional healing modality and philosophy is based in the subtle anatomy and extraphysiology of the human energy structure. In the 1990s, she compiled years of drawings and writings and created the Sacred Anatomy map. This map of the human energy structure. Desda is now recognized as the cartographer of the most extensive and thorough understanding of the subtle structure available today. This anatomy is documented in her encyclopedic book, Your Sacred Anatomy, an owner's guide to the human energy structure. It was published in 2012. Now, the information she's going to share today will open the doors to you of the Sacred Anatomy teachings, practices for successful survival as a sensitive soul in what can sometimes be an insensitive world. Welcome to this groundbreaking and revolutionary work. And please welcome, a warm heart welcome from all to Desda Zuckerman.
Hi there, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in and for joining us for this wonderful program about the hygiene of the sacred anatomy. And the question is, of course, do I need it? Is it something that would work for me or be useful for me? We all understand the need for good hygiene, and you learn that in childhood, that brushing your teeth and washing your hands throughout the day, bathing regularly, sleeping soundly, were what you needed to stay healthy, to care for your body. Once you've learned the essential practice, the Sacred Anatomy Edge, it's time to start self-care for your energy structure. Energetic Hygiene is a comprehensive self-support program designed to help you apply the EDGE practice while using tried and tested subtle care practices. I've been developing these practices for 30 years plus, and some of them for even longer. And one of the things I can tell you about everything that I teach in energetic hygiene is you use it. And some of the things you use every single day. In this free introductory class of the Sacred Anatomy Energetic Hygiene series, you're going to continue working with ways to deepen your edge practice. It's great to see some of you who just finished our most recent edge practice joining us today. That's awesome to see you. Thanks for joining us. It's good. It's good to see your smiling faces. Daily self-care exercises and useful techniques will keep strengthening your edge stamina. So for those of you that haven't taken the edge class but are tuning in out of curiosity to this one, the thing that the edge is it's a way to place your awareness and attention literally at the edge of your sacred anatomy. The sacred anatomy is a manifestation of the subtle energy that surrounds all human beings. It's something I've been mapping and working on for well over 50 years. And what I can tell you is that understanding your sacred anatomy gives you a greater access to your own soul's evolution. And as such, your soul's purpose and the reason for you, why you're here, what it is that you're meant to offer. And this isn't because this class gives that to you. It's because knowing this information helps you open that door. So this is a free introductory class of the Sacred Anatomy Energetic Hygiene series. And all of the Sacred Anatomy teachings are about engaging conscious subtle material energy and using otherworldly interactive light to shift the subtle and material in structure. Using the energy of consciousness to open new doors within you and to connect your subtle awareness to your physical reality only improves your quality of life and helps you begin to think of yourself as more than just a physical body. The practice and techniques I share in this course were designed to provide self-care support for the sensitive soul living in a sometimes insensitive world. Learning these self-care techniques and practices to practice energetic hygiene will encourage health and vitality and even greater happiness, which after all is one of the things that we all seek. But it's understanding how the sacred anatomy works together along with your physical body to support you. That's really a critical part of self-care, deep self-care. The modules that I will teach, there's 6 of them, and they're delivered through the lens of the Sacred Anatomy Energy Medicine, which is both a philosophy and a subtle intentional healing modality firmly based in the quantum field of subtle anatomy. And this will give you a unique vantage point. No human being can authentically engage in the pursuit of their soul's path without living fully in their own body, seizing their power, and showing up. This means to be a fulfilled person requires being an embodied person and a present person. This 3-week series teaches self-care skills for sensitive people living and working in the world who want to fully embody their own precious potential. Learn to use and care for the subtle anatomy which surrounds your physical body and consciously take ownership of your larger anatomical self. This approach leads to the discovery of a new and awakened awareness, which brings greater daily satisfaction and capacity for living your best life. To live as a fully embodied, awakened person requires skills and tools. And that's what energetic hygiene is about, to help you develop real life skills that will support you no matter how sensitive you are in your everyday world. The intention is that this knowledge will reveal a veiled part of your human potential, leaving more awake, aware, and comfortably expanded energy to just open into your own self and your life. You know, we have a choice to live our lives clutching and collapsing and holding on, or breaking through and striding into the amazing possibilities of this life. I just want to say a little bit more about the hygiene class. Years ago, when I started on this journey to not just understand what it was that I saw, but how it could maybe be used, I realized that one of the problems that I had, and I think this is a common problem for a lot of people, is that we collect debris. We collect energetic debris. So, what's energetic debris? Energetic debris is that which we slough off in the midst and middle of emotional content, you know, while you're arguing with someone or having a difficult day. One of the questions you can ask yourself is, when you have a difficult day, why am I having a difficult day? What is it that's happening? What have I picked up from the world around me? What have I been overly vulnerable to, too open to? Or, in fact, what have I taken on and I'm then now trying to process, not just through my physical body, but through my energetic structure? So we have to think in terms of who are we and what is it that we want out of life? And if we want out of life a better, cleaner, easier, more awakened approach, then we need energetic hygiene, because we've got to learn how to clear and cleanse our sacred structure. And we've got to learn different little techniques that'll help us to really clear out in such a way that we no longer need to be afraid of being overly vulnerable. Many people come to me because they're extremely sensitive, overly sensitive even. And so they start in the edge class learning a practice, 5 steps to the edge. They start there, and this energetic hygiene is the second course that people take. The next one, the one that applies the edge practice and helps them really open up into great self-care. So if you're just joining me for the first time, this is a real treat and a glimpse into the class that's a prerequisite to this one, the essential practice, your sacred anatomy edge. The subtle boundary of your human energy structure that I have made a lifetime study of, otherwise known as your edge, has to be activated because a conscious personal connection is needed for a relationship with the subtle anatomy. It's important to know that this subtle anatomy around us, which goes out 20 feet in all directions, it's huge. And it's not a bully. It doesn't force you to have a relationship with it. It is available if you'd like to. And this is one of the most interesting parts, I think, of studying this sacred and subtle anatomy, is that it has this relational capacity. And it loves your voice. It loves to serve. It loves to be of support because it knows that the clearer you are as a human in this world, the cleaner your interactions are, the smoother your own experience in everyday life is, the more you're going to follow your soul's purpose. And when you're following your soul's purpose, it makes the universe happy. Everything around you is happy. So you can know about the edge, you can read about the edge, but until you own it and actively invite it into a relationship, your connection to this fundamental part of yourself remains remote. So becoming embodied and completely present in your physical body allows you to gracefully awaken the sacred anatomy. Using these 5 steps will take you to a functional life at the edge. Activating your edge in 5 steps, each one building upon the other. None skipped or dropped. Well, each one adds something important to the entire sequence. So I'm going to walk you through the edge practice right now. If you're new to the sacred anatomy, or if you don't know how to do the edge practice, or you've never experienced it before, or you don't know what to do and you don't know how you feel about all of it, here's a couple of things you should know. 1, don't believe anything I say, try it for yourself. 2, you'll be asked to speak out loud for the benefit of your own subtle structure, which is keyed and cued in to your own voice. 3, don't skip any steps. They build on each other, so do every one of them. 4, learn how to do the edge practice and why we do what we do when we're doing it, because it's taught in a different class. So just learn what you can, but know that really deeply learning it has 6 modules of its own, and it's taught in a different class. So today I'm really going to be talking about learning about, do you need energetic hygiene? Because that's the next class that's coming. Okay. And 5, if this is your first introduction, just relax and go with it, because it's the smartest way to go. So what we're going to do is stand up for this exercise, and it is going to go fast. Now, just a tip for you, if you come off of your, if you put yourself on video screen, I'll be able to see you. I'm clairvoyant. I see energy around people. And if I'm able to see you, I can see how you're doing. I can see if you need a little tweak here or there, and I'm able to support you better. So thanks. Please come off your mute of your video and let me see what you look like. Welcome. Hello. It's great to be with you. All right. Fantastic. Hi. The first thing we're going to do is what's called embodied presence. So you're going to just follow me and remember to speak out loud. Reach above your head and invite your presence to come into your hands. Beloved presence, please come into my hands. Take a deep breath. Beloved presence, please come into my head. Feel your presence entering your head and expanding inside your head. Place your hands on your head and say, I think this is a good idea. Now take a deep breath. Beloved presence, please come into my throat. Your presence, your spirit, your essence, they're all the same thing. They're all connected. And put one hand in front and one hand in back of your throat and say, my name is, and I'm going to say Desda, and you can say your own name. My name is, my name is Desda. Now another deep breath, beloved presence. Please come into my chest. Now, as this is going, as it's moving, your energy is deepening. You're becoming more embodied, more present, more able to be in your own structure. So put your hands on your heart and say, I love being present. I love my heart. I love my spirit. I love my essence. Another deep breath. Beloved presence, please come to my solar plexus.
Put your hands on your solar plexus, which is the place that gives and receives emotional content, and say, I'm happy to be present. I'm happy to be present. And remember to tell your face, smile, I'm happy to be present. We forget to tell our faces that we're happy, don't we? Beloved presence, please come into my pelvis. And now, as your presence anchors into your pelvis, feel yourself opening into your hip sockets, all the way to your back, and feel your presence opening up, filling up, and really landing in your offering bowl. This is your offering bowl. This is where you give of yourself from your pelvis. We think it's from the head, but that's an offering bowl that's upside down, so everything falls out. No, we're actually present here in our pelvis. So put your hands here and say, I am present. And now we're going to gather up the presence in our arms and our legs, just bringing it to ourselves, pulling it in, and then say, I take my life into my hands. That's great. You guys look good. And then one leg up, and the other, I take my stand. So this is kind of a fighting stance. You're ready to go. You're embodied. Your presence is fully here. Feel your presence flooding all the way down through your whole body. And now you're going to drop your anchor. So we have a little tail. We have a little tail that exists, that extends out of our coccyx. And we're going to visualize and use our imagination to bring that tail down. So the coccyx releases the marrow of the tail. There's actually 6 layers. We're going to bring them all down. And it comes all the way down through your legs, through your knees, below your feet, 5 feet, below 10 feet, 15 feet, and splashes into one of the 2 chi pools, either the gold one or the blue one. Both of them are good. Both of them are winners. It's just going to go into one. And you'll feel the tail go into one and then hook there and twist as it anchors. So do that twist. All right. Now we come back up to the spine and we go to the top of the sacrum. And now from the top of the sacrum, down out of your coccyx comes the bone of the tail. This tail is amazing, and it anchors us in our subtle anatomy. And as the bone is coming down, it's wrapping all around the marrow. It goes between our legs, between our knees, between our ankles, down below our feet, 5, 10, 15, and 20 feet, and anchors into the chi pool where it kind of hooks in. So this beautiful sacrum is down, hooked in the bone, the coccyx, and the marrow. Everything is really anchoring in to this chi pool, which is the bottom chakra of the entire 13 chakra system. It's all the way in the soul layer, which is at the bottom of the energy structure. If you can imagine an egg, this is the bottom at the shell, at the very bottom. Now we're going to go behind the heart, into the muscles behind the heart, and we're going to experience the ligamental layer coming out and going down the course of your spine, all the way out your coccyx, between your knees, down below your feet, 5, 10, 15, and 20 feet, and twist. Now the ligaments are surrounding the bone and the marrow, and your tail is building. The next we're going to bring, did I skip ligaments? Did I do ligaments? And then went right to...
You said ligaments, but you said behind the
heart. I'm so sorry. I screwed up. I never do that. So right behind the waist is where those ligaments come out of. Don't worry, that happened. So now we're going to go behind the heart, and this is the musculature. So take a deep breath and experience the muscles coming out of behind the heart and down, down, down below your coccyx, out your legs, down under your feet, 5, 10, 15, 20 feet, and there you twist and anchor your musculature of your tail. So now you've got the marrow, the bone, the ligaments, and the muscles. So now we go to the fascia, which is at the top of the shoulders. So as it comes down your spine, it's going to pass the back of the heart, the waist, the sacrum, and go through the coccyx and come out through your legs, down below your feet, 5, 10, 15, and 20 feet, anchoring into and hooking into that chi pool. So when you twist like that, it tells your body that you're doing something. Your physical body needs those little cues. This is so your physicality understands the subtle is being interacted with. And now we bring the dermal layer, which comes from the atlas, down, down, down your whole spine, and it comes out your coccyx, goes through your legs, down below your feet, 5, 10, 15, 20 feet, and anchor. And now what happens is all of those layers are connected. So they're going to reach out for the core sheath, which is surrounding the deep held core, going all the way from the top of the structure down to the bottom. And so our little tail is now reaching towards the core sheath, and it kind of pulls apart and then comes back together and makes this beautiful, tight, rope-like construction and wraps around the core sheath 20 feet below your feet, 1, 2, 3 times, and anchoring. So what we've done now is we've grounded you. And you're not grounded into the earth. You're not grounded into any other species either. You're grounded into you, and you're grounded into your subtle and your sacred anatomy. And this is the beginning of really experiencing a way to move in the world that's really connected to the sacred and the subtle, as well as the material and the manifest. So let's put one hand into the electromagnetic field right around you. Your electromagnetic field can really go out a long way, but we're going to keep ours kind of close. So it's right around here. And then you're going to extend your light fingers, a voom, and you're going to touch the edge of the containing membrane. And go ahead and awaken that containing membrane. That's the part of you that's holding the electromagnetic field. So you wake it all up. So as it wakes up, you're going to align the two parts. Take a deep breath and move the containing membrane and the actual body of the electromagnetic field together and set focus. And what that does, and this is so important, what that does is it keeps you contained right here. Your electromagnetic field is not stretching out and going to Mars. Your electromagnetic field is staying right next to you. So take a moment and just pull it in. Pull your electromagnetic field in a little bit. There you go. Pull it in. And your electromagnetic field will stay closer. All right. Now we're ready to go to the edge. So you're going to extend your light fingers and you're going to walk along the core and the channel. So this class is made up mostly of people who've taken the class The Edge before. But if you haven't, there are two big currents of energy, the core and the channel, and they cross at the center of your body. It's called the Grand Cross. And what we're going to do is walk along the channel and the core. And each of these go about 20 feet out. Boom, boom, boom. So take a nice deep breath. Place one hand at the front of your body on the channel and another hand here on your core. And walk. Just walk with your light fingers. And you're going to walk about 20 feet. Go, 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 go all the way. And you're going to literally go all the way to the edge of your energy structure. Take a deep breath and pop through the energy structure. And there you are at the edge. So at the edge, you're going to bring your awareness edge 360 all around. And then edge 360 front and back. And then edge 360 in one kitty corner. And edge 360 in the other kitty corner. And then just visualize an orange with all the different sections. So you're going to fill in all the blank spots with your awareness. You're going to be fully aware of this beautiful egg-shaped orange wedges, all filled in with your awareness and your consciousness. Now, half of you are saying, I don't know what's happening. This is crazy. I can't follow this. I'm so confused. So this is a little bit of a way that you can work with what's called the monkey mind. The monkey mind is always going to try to undercut you. It's going to be the one who says, this is too hard. I can't do this. I don't know what she's talking about. Right? You probably hear that. And maybe even sometimes it disempowers you and makes you feel foolish. Well, here's how you can deal with that monkey mind. Extend your light fingers and pull it out of your head. Pull all the monkey mind out of your head and place it over here on its very own perch. Here's your own perch, monkey mind. It's right in your structure. It's not going away, but it's going to be out of your mind is going to be over here. Your monkey mind is going to be over here. And then what you're going to say is, monkey mind, make this learning experience easy and gentle. And hold that intention for me. So your mind can't do two things at once. So if you give your mind a job, it will pay all its attention to that. Your monkey mind will be busy, busy, busy. And you know what that leaves over here? Space. Space to learn and space to grow. All right, we're going to sit down now. Good job. So together we set a powerful, intentional sacred anatomy field to develop a deeper connection to our subtle selves and to awaken and expand consciousness intentionally. So I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath. And if we can all come together in a sacred field, we do this all the time unconsciously. Let's do it consciously. And allow that field to open, open, open. Calling on the sacred anatomy angels to hold us and to support us. So you're probably wondering what some of this stuff looks like. So I've spent a long time drawing pictures of it. And I wrote a book here called Your Sacred Anatomy. Very big book. It's got 354 pages and 88 drawings. And in that book, I've spent all this time organizing it so that people can understand not just what I see, but who they are. So let's go ahead and take a look at the most important anatomy there is, the core. So this is the core. It's made up of 3 different currents, and those are red, blue, and yellow. And the Sacred Anatomy Energy Medicine is a new paradigm for personal evolutionary development based on the subtle energies of the human energy structure. These energies create an expanded anatomy that opens up the idea of who and what you are to include both the physical and the subtle. And at the very, very center of your body, and running really right through your spine, is the core. For each of you, a unique and beautiful oval, approximately oval-shaped structure continually manifests out of the triple current energies of the core. Because way at the top of this, those triple current energies spin out, and that's a thing called individuation. So that's what's happening when we're forming. This is a very old picture. It's long ago. So this picture would be you maybe 100,000 years ago when your soul was first becoming separate from the core. So you're both the core and the individuation. So not only do we individuate and become something different than the core, but we maintain the core at the center. The core is whole, perfect, complete. It can never be damaged or injured. It can never be traumatized. It is an incredibly powerful part of who we are. So you're both the core and the individuation, spinning out the red, the blue, and the golden yellow currents as single currents. So in my teaching, which is based on this anatomy, we spend a lot of time understanding that anatomy and how we can interact with it, how we can relate to it, how we can feel it. I teach you how to sense it, how to know it. You're both a subtle energetic structure and a physical expression of material manifest reality. So I have some self-support techniques that I'm going to share with you today. And the main reason to do these things is to repeatedly reinforce the embodiment of the training that you're receiving as you approach energy as intelligence. So that's the thing. Energy that's around us, the subtle energy, it is not random. It is intelligent. And it has a different form of intelligence than you or I, but it is clearly intelligence. And it responds and reacts and interacts with us. It co-creates with us. It partners with us. By bringing yourself constantly to consciousness around this very paradigm shifting idea, you shift your brain while your ability to interact in an awakened and aware way with energy actually grows. So ritual behaviors speak to the subconscious self. That's why when we do embodied presence, we say things like, I think this is a good idea, my name is. Those are meant to turn on the switch that allows your subconscious self to participate. Because it's where deeper perceptual shifts occur. And gradually, a change in belief and relationship becomes realized in your conscious reality. Good self-support is essential if you're to become an aware and fully extended, expanded participant in your own life, both subconsciously and consciously. So, I'm going to teach you about a thing called the salt and soda bath. Some of you may know about this already, but I may offer some new points for it. The sea salt and baking soda bath is comprised of equal parts sea salt and baking soda, never baking powder, and never iodized salt. And you put it in a full tub of pleasingly hot water. Epsom salt is not a substitute, and neither is, as I said, iodized salt. Always use only sea salt. So you get in to this tub and get all of your body wet, including the top of your head. It's okay to take a shower and rinse off your hair and body after you've bathed. But what this does is this allows the subtle energy structure, especially subtle energies, to begin to heal and to integrate, to become more calm and awake to who and what you are. You can take a sea salt and soda shower. So you just take it like maybe a half a cup of sea salt and a half a cup of baking soda. You put it in a small bowl with a half a cup of hot water. You make a paste, step in the shower, get wet all over, turn off the shower and rub the paste all over your body, and then you shower it off and rinse. So if you need to use more salt and soda, go right ahead. It's not prescriptive. It just needs to be equal parts. The other one is called the dry rub. So this is good for people who have really sensitive skin and they can't handle salt and soda. So if you can't tolerate it, you get a little Ziploc baggie, small to medium size, and you put equal parts salt and baking soda in there, at least a quarter cup of each ingredient, and whatever it takes to fill the bag, about a third of a cup full, a third full of the bag. And then you place the sealed bag into another sealed bag. Use the double bag salt and soda to rub out the sacred anatomy by vigorously rubbing your hands together with the bag between them. And you rub all around the front of your body. And then you do a silly thing. You turn around and you rub the back. Anyway, you then continue to move through the layers, rotating your hands with the bag like a wheel as the debris of discomfort releases. And you cleanse the bag by placing it outside in the sunlight for at least 6 hours. And periodically dispose of the used bag. Okay, now the next thing I want to talk about is water. Pure filtered water is extremely important for the health of the physical body, and it's critical for sensitive people to drink enough water every day. If you do not drink enough water, you cannot stay completely in the flow of what it is that you need to be in the flow of to release debris. So you want to release subtle energetic debris and waste and excess, and all of that happens when you drink water. Water helps to flush your physical body, and every cell in your body is surrounded by subtle energy. So it's also helping the subtle energy in your physicality rinse and release. It's because we have only one body. So we only have the physical / subtle body. It's all one. And it includes both of them, right? The subtle and the material components. And they both flush and slough debris in expelled water through sweat, urine, lymph, and other waste. When activating the sacred anatomy of the human energy structure, which is what you're doing here today, and especially in energetic hygiene, you really need extra water. So I try to make sure that students are drinking water. And this means you'll be able to let go of the stuck unconscious waste you collect while being completely unaware of just how big and amazing you really are. We kind of bumble through life until we discover our feet, right? We kind of, like little kids, little toddlers, you walk them and they're just like bumbling and falling down all the time. Well, we're kind of like toddlers with this. So as we learn to walk in the world of the sacred and the subtle, we need to get our feet, and we get our feet by doing things like drinking water, taking salt and soda baths. Now, I'm going to talk for a minute about cigarettes. If you have been a smoker in the past, or even if you still are, I want to make it clear that tobacco is a sacred plant that's better not used as a constant stimulant. If you smoke, please choose organic tobacco products, as the chemical additives added to commercial cigarettes are terribly cancer-producing, and the vaping is even worse. So if you're using tobacco in sacred ceremony, always use the chemical-free natural brands that are available. If you smoke, make regular offerings to the spirit of the tobacco plant and ask for forgiveness. If you're honestly trying to quit smoking, or if you were a smoker in the past and have already quit, you might need to apologize to the powerful spirit of the tobacco plant for abusing its healing and sacred gifts. So, to do that, make an offering of pure tobacco by burning it in some container that you can get rid of, and spread the ashes on the earth with prayers and for forgiveness. Because when you use something that's sacred for the mundane, you know, like to quell anxiety or to be able to not eat so much or whatever you're smoking for, to be cool, why ever you're smoking. These are things that can be damaging to you because the relationship you have with tobacco is it's not a right relationship. So I hope that you will take this to heart and understand that I speak as a person with not just Native heritage, but also as a former smoker. So I understand what it takes to move on. Now, the next thing I'm going to share with you is hand washing. Well, of course, we know all about hand washing. So wash your hands frequently when you're doing any kind of healing or energy work. Always keep your hands clean. Train yourself to release stuck energy while washing. So rinse off the energy down the drain. Send it down the drain consciously. Just doing that will make a big difference for you. I want to talk about something that I find in the people who do come to these classes. Generally speaking, you're all pretty sensitive, and some of you are incredibly hypersensitive. So as a general rule, there are some people who need mental space after doing in-depth spiritual work, taking a class, getting a healing treatment. And I call these solitude seekers delicate in mind, not weak or vulnerable, but delicate. And these hothouse flowers of the energy working world need solitary walks in the woods, long hot baths alone, and a room or a sacred space of their own. If you think you might be delicate in mind, you definitely need to find somewhere where you can have a kind of a little sanctuary where you can get off alone, away, and have privacy. If you don't get the needed solitary time and silence, they do things like watch excessive amounts of TV, sleep too long, like just stay asleep for really forever, become cranky, cry really easily and often, and get befuddled. Just get totally befuddled. And I've heard it called brain fog. I've heard it called confusion and chaos. I've heard it called overwhelm. I've heard it called a lot of things. But what it is sensitivity, hypersensitivity, reactive hypersensitivity. So how do you get out of that? There's a couple of ways. One thing you can start right now today is either meditation, prayer, or contemplation. For deeper work, if you're going to do deeper work with your life, and anyone who studies with me is doing deeper work, you need to have a spiritual practice of some kind to support and nourish you. I don't care what it is. They all are pretty good. But even 3 minutes of contemplation, first thing in the morning before getting out of bed, will charge your spiritual batteries. And you want to use this solitude time to open up to guidance from the source. So just opening up for guidance and just listening. So ask for access to your higher wisdom. Just ask for it and watch what happens. Reap the rewards of a more awakened life by actually asking your own structure to inform you, to speak to you, to raise your awareness, to open a door. So building a dedicated altar, I call it an altering altar, will help you focus your conscious awareness on your transformational journey. Using elements that are sacred to you and incorporating found objects from your natural surroundings to augment the power of your altar. I use mine as an anchor point. And you know what? I put them all over the place. I have altars in every room and in my garden in about 5 or 6 places. And the reason I do that is because it's a touchstone for me. I see the altar. It's not like I'm going to be worshiping there, but I I touch my own sacred self in that place. So I invite you to make altering altars that help you shift and change who you are, transform yourself into a happier, healthier person. All right. So I'm going to teach you a practice called severing entanglements. And I will take questions after I do this. So get ready. If you have a question, you can put it in the chat, and then we will take those questions. So severing entanglements is what I'm going to teach you. Everywhere you go, every day of your life, you make energetic connections with people, places, and things. A part of your subtle anatomy spins out this little tiny thread. It's a little silver thread, and it attaches to people, places, and things. So it's called, when it does that, it's called an entanglement. And they dissipate after a couple of hours. But sometimes they don't. And they don't because you get some kind of a charge associated with that person, that place, or that thing. So when we have this nonverbal, energetic way that you place yourself in space and time by spinning out these little threads, it gives you context to survive in a material world. So needless to say, new recollections and reconnections are made all the time with your regular relationships. Things like the car you drive, the people you live with, can work with, your computer, your home, all help you define yourself and your life and who you are in relationship to them. They give you a sense of place, inclusion, involvement. The material world is made of things, and you, as a human thing, have a place in that world. But entanglements allow you to own your reality and to define it for yourself as it relates to you and your experience of life. So in the normal course of life, these little threads spin out from you and they anchor into all these things. And then some of them don't dissipate. So we develop problems of clutter when the old anchors and thread occasionally don't dissipate. And then these old used entanglements can actually be reactivating. The experience of being dominated by the past or a previous involvement, say with the bag boy at the grocery store who put the tomatoes underneath a can, there you go. You're thinking, this kid, I'm going to have a talk with him. I'm never coming through this line again. The next time you go to the grocery store, boom, you're in that line. You think you see the kid, oh, I'm going to change lines. And you get right up to the register and bam, if that kid isn't there again, bagging your groceries, the manager has moved him. And so now there you are with this boy who's ruined your entire bag of tomatoes before. So you're a little charged about this, aren't you? You're thinking, well, I don't want my tomatoes ruined. So this time you say something. Don't put the can on top of the tomatoes this time. And he looks at you, and now there's another charge. So you aren't just charged with the tomatoes in the bag, you're now charged with this kid. And so those are called entanglements. You don't have karma with them. It's not a big drama. But wouldn't it be nice to sever those entanglements so you don't have to drag him through the rest of your day? So I'm going to teach you how to sever entanglements right now. And I'm going to invite you to stand up to do this practice. So extend your dominant hand above your head and call on Archangel Michael to lend you his sword. Whether you believe in him or not, don't worry about that. Just ask. Archangel Michael, will you lend me your sword? And just allow yourself to feel it landing in your hand. And as it does, bring your arm down. When you feel that weight, it's something, isn't it? Just relax. Now you're going to wield the sword and sever entanglements. So follow me. Severing entanglements at your front. Severing entanglements to my left. Severing entanglements to my right. Sever entanglements behind me. Sever entanglements below me. Sever entanglements above me. And now you take that sword and you swing it in a figure eight all around your body. You sever whatever entanglement you need to sever. You get it all taken care of, just all around, everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. And when you think you're done, return the sword with thanks to Archangel Michael. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for your sword. Now, we're not really done. We've severed them, but we have a couple more steps. So combining with visualization, you're going to use both hands to push away from you all the people, places, and things who have tried to connect with you, right? Maybe you didn't connect with them, but they connected with you. So you've just severed entanglements with all those people. So now you're going to send them back to their source with absolutely no malice or blame. Just, I'm sending energies back at my front. Sending the entanglements back to my left. Sending entanglements back to my right. Sending entanglements back to my rear. Sending entanglements back below me. And sending entanglements back above me. Okay, now that's good, but we still have one more to do, which is to bring your energy back from all the places you've entangled with. So combining with a visualization, using your imagination and both hands, pull back to view all of your own energy that has been connected to people, places, and things that you've just severed entanglements with. So bringing back my own energy at the front, bringing back my own energy to my left, bringing back my own energy to my right, bringing back my own energy behind me, bringing back my own energy below me, and bringing back my own energy above me. And there you go. That's severing entanglements. So let's sit down. You feel good? Yeah, I can see you do. So I promised I would answer questions, and I don't think there are any in the chat. So if you have a question, please raise your hand and we'll call on you. And I won't be able to allow too many because we're almost out of time. So go ahead, ask your question right now. Jean.
After you do, let's see. If you take a shower, does that affect doing the whole, the term's escaping me, what we just went through, the whole exercise we just went through?
The edge?
Yes.
What it affects is your subtle structure. So it doesn't harm you in any way. It doesn't reduce the power of the edge. All it does is just cleanse you. So the bath is a really helpful thing. Now, what I should tell you is that the edge is a practice. So it's 5 spiritual practices that are done all together as a whole to create a transformational shift for you and change your state of consciousness. So it's going to be something that's going to kind of dissipate for you, but then you can learn how to bring it back.
How do you know when you're no longer at the edge? That's the tricky part for me.
You know you're no longer at the edge when you're returning to your egoic drive. Because when you're at the edge, it's a compassionate stance. And you have a magnanimous way of holding the world. So it's less involved with your own me, my, I got to get mine kind of vibe. And that's how you notice usually is you've fallen off the edge because you're getting cranky. All right. I think Kristen, is that right? Kristen? Yes, Kristen had a question. Go ahead.
Oh, you mentioned a class, a 3-week class. Is that about to start? Has it already started? I'm just curious. And what is the curriculum for that class?
Well, the next 3-week class for the Edge, have you taken the Edge class?
I have not.
Okay, so that one is coming up. I've got a little bit of information here. That's coming up in January, and there'll be a free class to introduce you to it January 22nd from 4 to 5 p.m. Pacific. It's called The Sacred Anatomy Secret, and it's a little intro class, sort of like this one. And then the class itself begins February 3rd, and it goes until the 19th. So it's 3 weeks. We're working twice a week on Mondays and Wednesdays for 3 weeks.
And all the information is on.
And all the info's on our homepage,
Which is, sorry, what is the homepage address?
www.yoursacredanatomy.com.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, check it out. It's a great little website. We've got all kinds of cool stuff on it. Pictures, everything. Yeah. So, are there any other who?
Celine has put a question in the chat. She
Oh,
said,
she did. Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see.
do we have to be consciously aware who we are entangled with?
No, you do not. Just figure it's somebody and begin your severing of entanglements. You'd never have to be consciously awake and aware, like, who have I entangled with? It's just impossible. So just sever them, and you just feel better. I mean, truly. All right, so I'm going to pop into a little conclusion. Today in our class, we really covered a lot. We set a powerful intentional field to develop a deeper connection to our subtle selves, to awaken and expand consciousness intentionally. I took you to the edge, so you had a little vicarious experience of what that was like. And for those of you who've taken the essential practice, the Sacred Anatomy Edge, you guys got a quick review. And those who have not, you got to meet and experience your edge kind of for the first time. And I have to admit, kind of quick and dirty. So we got there, we had a bit of a quick and dirty experience, but it could get even more amazing. Hosanna's given us the A-OK because she's just finished today, the Edge class. We just finished a 3-week class today, which is why we're going toward the next class. So the other thing we did is we learned the powerful Sacred Anatomy self-care techniques, and you were introduced to the core and the idea of individuation. Plus you learned to sever entanglements. So you dipped your toe into the vast pond that is the Sacred Anatomy energy medicine, and you got a glimpse of some of what energetic hygiene can offer you. I hope that this enabled you to look at maybe taking this class. You can learn not just to sever entanglements, but to stop absorbing people's issues, pain, trauma, clear all 8 human energy structure layers, learn to dowse. We teach you to dowse in this class. If you don't know how to use a dowsing rod, you can buy one from us. We have amazing dowsing rods. And you learn to conduct an emotional peel and bring in energies that are supportive. You learn to integrate shift and change and to hold and witness transformation, which is an extraordinary thing. I've been teaching these practices for over 25 years, and much like the Edge itself, they've helped many students to be safer, more authentic, productive in their daily lives. So as you learn to do all these things, you learn everything from sealing your tech, to applying the Edge, to doing an emotional peel, which is our Sacred Anatomy spa treatment that feels so good and releases old stuck emotional debris. And we identify and release inappropriate energy boundaries. We learn the 6 steps for bringing in source energies, use them to balance the subtle structure. Plus you learn to dowse at the Edge, which is exciting. So more information on how to register for energetic hygiene is posted in the chat by Cheryl. So thank you, dear. And our prerequisite, the essential practice, Sacred Anatomy Edge, is coming up next Friday. next February, I'm sorry. 2025 class begins September 9th at 9 in the morning and goes for just 3 weeks. We also have a discount code here. You can see for attending today, you get the Hygiene 40. It's all caps there. Hygiene 40, the early bird discount is really good. It's a $90 savings. It's available now, and it reduces the price to $309. Otherwise, it's $399, and the class starts on September 9th. And it goes to the 26th. So it's a 3-week course, meeting twice a week. And it's a prerequisite for Sacred Anatomy Medicine Bag, which is the next class. So you just move on to the next class where you learn more and more about how to work on other people. This is how to take care of you. Then you learn how to work more with other people in the medicine bag. So register today at yoursacredanatomy.com. And here's the hot rod. This is our dowsing rod that we have available. Some people do continue to use a pendulum or have rods that they own already. But this one is extraordinary. It's machined to high tolerances, exceptionally lightweight. It's aluminum and titanium. It's colored, and it's really a new dimension in dowsing sensitivity. It hardly weighs a thing. It's so incredible. It's really quiet. It moves really gracefully. I love them. I had a lot to do with how they were designed. I've been dowsing for a very long time, like 50 years. And I have a discerning taste about what I like. So we designed them for me. So I hope you like them. And now I'd like to introduce you guys to Friday Anatomy. So this is another free class. And it's a Ask Me Anything. So you should probably try to find my book on Amazon, yoursacredanatomy.com. Get it because it's got a lot of information in it, and you will enjoy looking things up that relate to you. And this class on Friday the 20th is a Ask Me Anything anatomy class. So practitioners come and ask me anything. Total novices who know nothing about the sacred anatomy, or they're asking me questions, and it's a lot of fun. We actually have a really good time in this class. So register to receive the Zoom invitation at yoursacredanatomy.com. And then we have the Edge class coming up. These are all the Edge classes for 25. I'm going to teach it on January 22nd is our free class. And it starts February 3rd, runs through the 19th. And then we have in Europe, I'm going to teach live. So I'm going to teach a weekend class. If you know somebody in Europe or you're in Europe yourself, you can join me March 28th through 30. It will be live and in France. We haven't got our location yet, but as soon as we do, we'll let you know. And then May 19th is another free anatomy secret. And June 2nd through July 21st is another Edge Online. And this one will be once a week, and it will be a 6-week version. So we're doing our 3-week version, 6-week version, and the live in France version. So you can come to all of those. The Essential Practice, Your Sacred Anatomy Edge, is coming up in February. It's something you might really want to look at taking. You can read a little bit more about it, and I hope you will join me in the free class so you can learn a little more about that class instead of just hygiene. All right, so this prerequisite is the Edge class is a prerequisite for energetic hygiene. So registration's now open in yoursacredanatomy.com, and our 3-week course begins September 9th. I want to thank the terrific Sacred Anatomy team, Bobby, who's yelling at me from the other room, Cheryl, who's in Davis, California, Kimmy and Guige, who do wonderful work with our artwork and also with the website. Thank you so much for joining me. Blessings and love to every one of you. May your day be beautiful and the unfolding of your life be released of entanglements. I hope to see you guys again. Please listen to some important announcements about follow-up from today's work right now from our hostess, Cheryl.
Thank you, Desda. Well, powerful information here from Desda, and every Sacred Anatomy class features our wonderful class pages. You get a ton of information there. Every exercise will be posted. It gives you a short video for each exercise you learn so you can review how to do each one along with written instructions you can print out. We pride ourselves on giving you excellent class materials to help you learn. And live class recordings are posted for your review in just a few days. We hope you all will be able to join us for Energetic Hygiene, and you can enroll at yoursacredanatomy.com. On behalf of the Sacred Anatomy Academy, thank you for joining us today for Do You Need Energetic Hygiene?